Tuesday, July 16, 2013. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1995 Subaru Legacy L Outback. Actually, this is the temporary spare tire from the car, and no, I have not had a little disaster, but I wanted to show you a little something. I actually have a road trip coming up in a couple of weeks, pretty long, over 1,000 miles each way, and I am taking the Outback. I've done so much work to the car in the past few months that I certainly am confident in it. And I had the car aligned for the first time under my ownership about 2 weeks ago, and on Sunday I changed the brake fluid, which dramatically increased how good the brakes feel. And I was preparing for doing little things to prepare for the road trip when Mrs. Mercedes Diesel Guy says to me, "Well, do we have a full-size spare?" And I thought about that for a moment. And, well, turns out, yes, I do have a full-size spare tire for the car, and I'll get to that in a moment. The reason she asked is because she knows as well as I do that with Subaru all-wheel drive systems, you really only want to use the smaller temporary spare on a very temporary basis. More or less, you just don't want to cause differential damage, which can happen if you run uneven tires. So, I thought about it, and I recalled that I had a parts car. It was a first-generation Legacy wagon, and this would have been about a little less than 4 years ago. It was a 1990, and I used it to repair my 1994 Legacy. The 94 Legacy had had a small temporary spare like this one. However, the 1990 parts car had come equipped with a full-size spare. The only real difference is that car didn't have the tool tray. So I thought to myself, well, I did actually save the spare tire from that car, which you can still see is marked Legacy. It's my chalk handwriting there. And I knew that in the first generation car, the 1990 and the 1994 had the same size spare tire well. Just for whatever reason, on later cars, the manufacturer included the smaller spare instead of the full-size spare. And I've been driving these second-generation Legacy wagons now for a few years, and I have noticed that the car's dimensions are very similar to the first-generation cars. So, reasoning further, I figured, well, I wouldn't be surprised if the full-size spare just drops into the spare tire well, and, well, there it is. So, if you don't mind eliminating your tool tray, the car can accommodate a full-size spare. So, I'm just going to air this up, and this will be my spare tire for the road trip. And although I do have some items in the tool tray, I'll just transfer them to something else for the time being, because the tool tray and the full-size spare won't fit in here. That's the compromise. So, thankfully I don't keep anything too important in there, and the stuff that is small enough to stow elsewhere. So, this is Mercedes Diesel Guy. Thanks for watching.